Greetings, everyone. I hope that you're doing well this fine day. This week we have been looking at some passages in Mark chapters 12 and 13. Today's passage is going to seem a little odd, but if you stay with me a few minutes, you will see why it is actually a powerful and encouraging passage. But before we get into it, let me ask this. With all the craziness of the past couple of years, how have you responded? Have you been putting your hope in Jesus, or giving in to the pull of media or politicians and putting your hope in other places? Are you the guy with a bunker, a good food supply, enough ammo, and your hope might be in your preparedness? If so, I need you to give me a call because I need some ammo. Just kidding. But is whatever you put your hope in sufficient to get you through hard times and to guide you into eternity? In today's passage, Jesus is giving his followers signs that will warn that Jerusalem and the temple are about to be besieged and destroyed. These warnings are to prompt them to leave the area so that they can survive and bring the gospel elsewhere. These are not signs about the end of the world, but the difficulties that Jesus describes will help us as we face similar difficulties in our day. And so let's jump in at Mark chapter 13, verse 5. And Jesus began to say to them, "See to it that no one misleads you. Many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and they will mislead many. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Those things must take place, but that is not yet the end. For nation will rise up against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be earthquakes in various places. There will also be famines. These things are only the beginning of the birth pains." Again, these are signs to prepare the followers of Jesus for the destruction of the temple, which would take place in AD 70. He does not want them to fall prey to false saviors or give in to fear about world events. Now, leading up to that time, there are going to be rebellions and battles with the Romans, zealots who are trying to rise up against the Roman army. There are going to be earthquakes and famines and other disasters. And when these things start to happen, it was a sign that Christians were to leave the area. And you can go back and look at history from the first century, and you can see how these events took place. And you can read various documents that confirm that what Jesus warned about actually came to pass. And you can read about how Christians left the area, how they lived in caves to avoid the war between the Romans and the Jews, and how they were able to take the gospel with them. And so we live after these warnings came to pass. But there is still so much that we can learn, because all of the disasters that they faced are disasters that continue to happen from time to time. And when they do, our faith is challenged. We might be overcome with fear. Some disasters make it so that we don't have all that we need to survive. Some events involve devastation of large areas and impact millions of people. In times like this, we might stop trusting Jesus. We might even sell out to false saviors to deliver us from problems. These people usually promise blessings if you give them lots of money or even loyalty. But don't buy into it. Keep trusting Jesus. Even when you hit your limit, keep trusting Jesus. Because he knows the whole scope of history. He knows your struggles. He knows of the terrible tragedies of this world, and he endured many of them himself in the flesh. So don't go after false senses of security. Look to Jesus, who gives peace in the hardest of situations and the one who gives eternal security. This has been Devotions with Joe Schneider from First Christian Church of O'Neill. I pray that your day goes well and that you will find peace through Jesus in the most difficult of times.